Hey guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here to talk about Dr. Grande's take on Colleen Ballinger. It was quite a take, if I can give any warning into this video and how awful it is. We're going to react to it because I think that it is best to do a reaction so that I can give you guys precise reasons where he was wrong and where he just overall missed the mark. So, if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I've talked about Dr. Grande before and some of the issues that I have personally with his content. This video was put onto my radar because of one of my subscribers who watched an older video where I had talked about Dr. Grande. And they left a comment and said, you know, bad takes all around, Amber Heard, Colleen Ballinger, and they listed somebody else that they considered that he had a bad take on. And I was like, well, geez, I haven't watched him in a long time, so let me go over and see what he had to say about Colleen. And this video was so awful, and he also has some of his information incorrect. It's very obvious to me that I don't know if it was just this video or if this is something that he does on a normal basis, but there was little to no research done on this topic. He did not inform himself correctly, but more importantly, he did not give the victims of Colleen the respect that they deserve. And that is why I'm upset, and that's why I'm making this video tonight instead of later on. I figured why not just sit down and go over it with you guys. So we're going to start at the top. Right now, this video has 7,000 likes to 2.1 thousand dislikes. It has 106,000 views, and it actually has been up for about 2 weeks. But like I said, I don't really care for Dr. Grande, and once in a while will I watch a video if it's super interesting, possibly, but I also don't. I just don't really care to hear his opinion at this point. There's plenty of other people that I listen to when it comes to commentary and giving their opinion, and if I want someone who is, you know, educated in a certain field, then I will seek that out. But Dr. Grande is just not it for me. If he is it for you, that's all good. We all have our preferences. But let's just get into this video. It's not very long. I'm going to put it at 1.5 times speed just so that we can get through it and I don't keep you guys here all night. But let's get into it.
Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing by this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to a timeline of the controversies, a summary of the apology video, then offer my analysis. Colleen Ballinger was born in Santa Barbara, California on November 21, 1986. Her father was a sales manager, and her mother was a homemaker. She has 3 siblings. Colleen's career started in 2007. She has been extremely active, mostly in the areas of singing, acting, and comedy. She has performed in theater productions, given private piano and voice lessons, and made many appearances in productions like web series, TV shows, music videos, and commercials. In 2008, the same year she graduated from college, Colleen started posting videos on YouTube using a character she created named Miranda Sings. The next year, she started...
She was actually only in one music video that I know of. If that is incorrect, sound off down below, but I know that she was in the Thank You Next music video, and I think that's all that she appeared in. But yeah, I mean, she was in a lot of content of her own, and she did a lot of collabs with other YouTubers, but either way.
A one-woman comedy act using the same character. Colleen has 3 large YouTube channels, all of which are extremely successful. Here are some of the statistics for her channels at the time of making this video. Her first channel shares her name, Colleen Ballinger. It has almost 9 million subscribers and has been viewed almost 2 billion times. It receives about 1 million views per month. Her second channel is named after the character she created, Miranda Sings. It has over 10 million subscribers and has been viewed over 2.3 billion times. It receives about 1.5 million views per month. Her third channel is called Colleen Vlogs. It has over 3.3 million subscribers and has been viewed almost 1 billion times. It receives about 2 million views per month. It's worth noting that Colleen's channels used to receive many more views than they...
I think the statistics for her 3 channels is interesting because her smallest channel as far as subscribers is her vlog channel, but it also gets the most views. And why is that? It's because she has tried to rebrand as a family vlogger, and she is oversharing and incorporating her children into all of her content over on her vlog channel. I've talked about that before, but she did want to rebrand, and she wanted to use her kids as a way to rebrand herself and continue to be able to make money on social media. So F their privacy, who cares? Let's go ahead and rebrand Colleen into a family vlogger, and we can keep things the way that they once were, because she knew that people were over Miranda. People were aging out of Miranda. And as far as content on her main channel, a lot of the subscribers had also aged out of her content on her main channel.
Do now, sometimes tens of millions per month. Colleen's character, Miranda Sings, represents a significant achievement as far as her success. This character is supposed to be a self-centered, arrogant, socially awkward, erratic, and irritating young woman who is obsessed with fame. She wears out-of-style clothing that doesn't match, and bright red lipstick that is not applied correctly. Colleen said that the idea for the Miranda...
Instead of talking about Miranda's, quote, out-of-style clothing and her lipstick that is sloppily applied, he missed the mark to, out of the gate, be able to call out Miranda's gross content. The fact that she has been ableist, the fact that she is incredibly inappropriate and not funny inappropriate. This is not comedy and, oh, well, she's a little inappropriate sometimes.
Character was inspired in part by women she knew in college. She found them to be rude and untalented. In many of the appearances on the internet and television that Colleen has made, she has been in...
On her True Life episode, which I also reacted to, I'll link that down below, she actually said that she created Miranda to make fun of kids that were doing singing auditions on YouTube. I don't know where he got his info from, but... And people have also said that Miranda was created as a way to basically make fun of one of Colleen's family members that is disabled.
Character as Miranda. For example, Miranda appeared on Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, The Tonight Show, and in a Netflix series. Now moving to the timeline of the controversies. In 2016, Colleen was on a live stream with a male friend of hers. They were handling lingerie as part of this video. The clothing had never been worn by anyone. It was new. Colleen's friend put a bra and underwear on over his clothing to demonstrate how ugly the items were. One of Colleen's fans, a 13-year-old boy named Adam, requested the lingerie, and Colleen eventually mailed the bra and underwear to him. It's clear that Colleen knew that Adam was not an adult, because...
Technically, in that live stream, Colleen offered it. It was not something that was just being, oh, please, can I have that? Please, can I have that? Colleen asked, does somebody want it? And Adam volunteered to take it. It should have never even been offered by her, since she was the adult in the situation, as a friendly reminder.
Your Twitter guy is making me laugh so much. I want to send him something. Do you want the bra, Adam?
Do you want the bra and panties? Tweet right now.
Okay, maybe he'll want the panties. Although then his parents will be like, you're not allowed to watch who is sending you panties.
She joked about how his parents might be mad. In addition to mailing lingerie, Colleen crossed other boundaries with Adam. For example, she shared personal information with him over the course of 3 years. At one point, she even let him post on her Twitter account. After this incident, people found other mistakes that Colleen had made. For example, she was featured in a comedy skit that was insulting toward Hispanics. Colleen once talked insensitively about a dog that bit her when she was 3 years old. The dog was put down by a veterinarian. And when discussing an incident on an airplane, Colleen was insulting toward a person who struggled with obesity. Colleen released a 13-minute apology video in 2020 titled Addressing Everything. In the video, she accepted responsibility.
And he glazed over so many other things that have been discussed with her. You want to hit on a couple of things. This video should have been better researched by him or the people on his team that he employs to do research for him to be able to deliver the video. This is such a sensitive topic, and as somebody who, some people look at Dr. Grande as somebody who is educated and should be an advocate and be able to call out really deplorable things and talk about it from a mental health professional's standpoint. And this video was a huge missed opportunity to actually have someone in this profession hold her accountable.
For her behavior, displayed remorse, and talked about how much she learned from the experience. I don't think apology videos are ever a good idea, but if someone is going to insist on releasing them, the one that Colleen released in 2020 wasn't too bad.
No, it was actually awful. She didn't take full accountability. She only addressed it because everybody was after her. just like she did with her most recent ukulele dumpster fire of a video. She's only doing this because the entire internet is after her. And even then, she does not deliver. She doesn't take accountability. She doesn't show changed behavior.
After this apology video, more people came forward with allegations. For example, fans claim that Colleen engaged in toxic relationships with them in private chat groups. She allegedly asked various people questions like what their favorite position was and were they a virgin. Colleen was involved.
No, those two questions were directed at Adam. Those were to Adam. They weren't directed at various people where there might have been some underage fans in this group chat. She directed them at Adam, who she knew exactly how young he was. And those questions that were grossly inappropriate were directed at him. Not at whoever wanted to answer it, to him.
In some type of yoga challenge event in 2019, she called a young fan onto the stage and put her in an unflattering position as a flatulence sound was played over a speaker. A man who worked as Colleen's assistant claimed that she screamed at him.
That was glazed over, wasn't it? Why don't we say what it was? She brought an underage fan onto the stage, had that underage fan open her legs to as wide as they could be opened, and then embarrassed that young child in front of an auditorium full of people for her own satisfaction. So people would laugh at her and think she was funny. She is the, comedic genius. And she used a child as a prop.
Verbally belittled him and exploited him for free labor. In response to these allegations, Colleen released a 10-minute apology video in June of 2023, which was simply titled, Hi. In the video, Colleen played a ukulele and sang. I cannot recall ever seeing a musical apology video before, so I will have to give Colleen points for creativity. Here is a summary of her apology video. Some of this is paraphrased. Colleen sang a refrain, which read, quote,
Now, he does go over what the ukulele apology video was. I am going to skip over just a little bit in the middle of this video because we all know exactly what it was. I want to get into his comments about the video.
Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. As is the case with any high-profile apology video, there were a variety of reactions to Colleen's musical adventure. It would appear as though many people are not happy with the content of her apology, believing Colleen to be insincere. The video has a decidedly confrontational and negative tone and contains harsh criticisms of Colleen's detractors. I don't think that the video that Colleen released was actually an apology video at all.
It's not just her detractors. It's people who see her for the monster that she is. Detractors are a very small group of people that might be nitpicking something that is really minuscule and doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. This is somebody who misused her platform, had inappropriate connections with literal children, knowing that they were children, and continued to carry on and nurture this toxic parasocial bond where she was the adult in the situation and she should have never even had conversations with these kids.
It was an admonishment, a scathing indictment of cancel culture. Colleen was trying to communicate that there is nothing she can do to satisfy her detractors. She accepted responsibility for her behavior, but that is not enough for some people. I think that Colleen's video does reveal a truth about the world of social media celebrities. It underscores how people rarely change their minds once one of these scandals gets rolling. If an attitude change does occur, it's often not due to anything the celebrity said, or sang, as the case may be. Instead of just doing nothing in response to criticism, Colleen is striking back. She is standing up for herself in a ukulele-fueled rebuke. One could argue that she is offering a...
She's not standing up for herself. She is essentially giving the finger to the victims. She is saying, you guys don't matter so much that I'm going to come back and make a mockery of you all having the courage and the support to share your stories about how I had an inappropriate relationship with you guys when you were underage.
Miranda warning. She is using all the criticism directed at her against the people who made it. Item number 2. The gravamen of the complaint against Colleen is really about boundaries, which is something she acknowledged in her apology musical. Colleen did not understand how to be a celebrity. She didn't know how to manage relationships with fans. I think she did violate boundaries, and that behavior is not acceptable. But at the same time, I am underwhelmed by the small number of complaints, given the sheer quantity of videos that Colleen has produced. On YouTube alone, she has published over 3,500 videos. This doesn't count for any other social media, TV, Netflix, or other places. Ostensibly, Colleen has also communicated.
So what he is saying here is, because her numbers are so high and because there are only a few, quote, bad interactions, that it's not as bad as what people are making it out to be. If she had one inappropriate interaction with a child, that is one too many. To discount what these people, these kids, some of them at the time, went through because Colleen was knowingly engaging with children and being inappropriate and sending NSFW images and videos of Trisha from her paywall site to literal children, that's also not addressed here. So let's not say, oh, well, she made so many videos, she has so many fans, and there are only a few. That does not matter. And I think it's quite insulting to say, oh, well, it's only a few. It should have been 0. 1 is one too many. Doctor.
With fans frequently, probably thousands of interactions, yet there are only a few complaints. Colleen became popular for playing a character who was spontaneous, energetic, immature, charismatic, emotionally reactive, and boundary violating. It makes sense that a person who could play this type of character might be a little bit impulsive themselves. The very characteristics that made Colleen famous are now being used against her.
Let's stop allowing a character to be some kind of shield. I am so tired of this narrative. I could literally scream every single day because I hear this same nonsense of, oh, well, it's a character. Oh, it's comedy. Oh, it's, she doesn't mean anything by it because it's a character. That means nothing. Colleen is who she is at the core. And y'all, dummies, have fallen for it by allowing her to excuse away inappropriate behavior because of a character.
This isn't fair to Colleen. In a way, it's like people being mad at a boxer for being aggressive when they are not in the ring. People cannot separate themselves from their personality characteristics. Item number 3. For some of those who disliked the apology video, it wasn't just about the content, it was the fact that Colleen apologized in the form of a musical. People have argued that this does not show a respect for the topic. I disagree. I've always been a big fan of the arts in general. I like almost all types of art. I'm particularly fond of movie musicals, and I think there's nothing wrong with telling a story.
What would Dr. Grande be saying if this was a 30-something-year-old man having conversations with a teenage girl? Because he seems like kind of like one of those people that would be really upset, rightfully so. But because we're talking about a YouTuber who has a lot of subscribers and made so many videos and was on the Tonight Show and only had, quote, a few of these bad interactions, he is willing to excuse it away. It does not matter if it is a man, woman, they, them, don't care about any of that. If it is an adult having these inappropriate relationships with children, I don't care if they made 1 million videos and they donated every penny they had to fight world hunger. If you are an adult and you are engaging inappropriately with children, you are a piece of garbage. My opinion.
With music, I've watched many musicals several times, like The Greatest Showman, Grease, Fiddler on the Roof, and Mamma Mia. The final scene of La La Land was nothing short of pure genius, except for that trumpet solo. I'm not sure what they were thinking there. Either way, music is a valid way to tell a story. I find it curious that Colleen is well known for her musical talent, yet people criticize her for using it to make an apology. I think the music actually softens the blow that Colleen is delivering. Again, her video is not really about it.
Number 1, F musicals. You don't come on and sing about something where you literally had these inappropriate interactions with children. You don't come on and sing. You don't come on and strum a banjo or play a ukulele. That is not how this is handled, and the way that this is being so discounted, as if Colleen came on and did, this great video and took accountability and, everyone's just being a detractor. This enrages me, and to hear it from somebody who really has a really powerful platform and could have been a voice of reason in this situation. And to hear the nonsense that he is spouting out is making me angry. And I've already listened to this video once, and I am still very angry on behalf of everybody that Colleen negatively impacted.
Apologizing. It's about standing up for herself. Colleen is saying something like, I am a human being too, and I'm allowed to make mistakes like any person would. It's a fair statement, accompanied by music or not. Now moving to my final thoughts. I think it's reasonable to believe that Colleen was hurt by the criticism she received. If nothing else, this indicates that she heard the complaints and was open to the idea that they could be valid. At some point, however, Colleen...
She's not standing up for herself. The woman literally broke the law by sending NSFW images of Trisha to a group chat that was filled with minors. This isn't standing up for yourself. Standing up for yourself would be receiving a mean comment and telling the person to kick rocks. That's standing up for yourself. We are literally talking about a grown woman who was inappropriate with her fans, whom she knew that they admired her and adored her, and she took advantage of that relationship. It's disgusting, and it's being discounted by this guy.
Colleen was done listening. She reached her limit as far as feedback. She apologized and was ready to move on. What should the cost be when a social media influencer makes a mistake? What is the point of even acknowledging a mistake if redemption is not a possibility? What more can Colleen do to receive absolution? Colleen wants to convince people that she is a weird loser, not an intentional boundary violator. She makes a convincing argument, which I suppose is both a good and a bad thing at the same time. I guess one could say that rather than face the music, Colleen decided to strike a chord. It didn't hit the right note with everyone, but it was definitely not the same old song and dance. The world will not be in harmony over the routine, but I think Colleen had the right to belt it out. I just hope for her sake, this apology video is not her swan song. Those are my thoughts in the case of Colleen Ballinger's apology video. Please put any opinions in.
I think that Dr. Grande I think he's an absolute joke. I think that this was a great example of literal awful behavior being labeled as crossing a boundary. Are you kidding? Poorly researched. He didn't talk about the Trisha and the NSFW images, which is a very large part of this situation. Number two, he didn't talk about the daddy saddle and talking about the strange content that Miranda has put out focused around her possibly being mistreated by her uncle and that being heavily, inserted into her content. I'm going to talk about any of the disgusting content that she has made. But you want to give her credit for that 2020 video and say that this one was just, oh, she came out and sang and it's not that big of a deal. She's just a boundary crosser. Dr. Grande needs a, he needs to read the room. And adults that talk to children on the internet are the literal bottom feeders and most disgusting people in society. I think it's gross. Adults that talk to children online, knowing that they're talking to children, they're right down there for me with, that is a form of manipulating a child. And if you are able to do that, then I think that you're a rotten piece of trash. But there are a lot of people in his comment section completely disagreeing with him, understandably so. He's not said anything else about this video. It is still up. It is still live. You can watch it. So I'm sure that he thinks that people are just upset for maybe not the right reasons, but he is not educated, and this was an awful take. But I did want to talk to you guys about this tonight just because I was upset. I know a lot of y'all are going to be upset, so sound off down below. For now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment, and if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.